Round 6 of Super Rugby does not disappoint. Some sensational rugby on display. Dare I say it? Is this year the best year of Super Rugby we've seen in the past decade? I think so. Quality games across the board, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. Before we get into round 6 reviews, let me know in the comments what game you enjoyed the most. Who was your player of the round? Who scored your try of the round? What was your match of the round? Let me know in the comments. Who did well in fantasy for you? I want to hear it. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into it. So first game of the round, Chiefs versus Moana, 50-35. A proper game of two halves. Chiefs absolutely dominant in that first half, running out to 40-something points. And Moana really sticking it to them in that second half. Coming back, showing a lot of fight. Not coming back the whole way, obviously, but coming back and scoring a ton of tries. Also just showing that they're not just going to be a pushover, and they won't just be a pushover. Regardless of what the score is at halftime, they can still come back, and they show that there is fight within that Moana squad. But man, Chiefs just too clinical in that first half, too fast, super high intensity. And while the Chiefs backline was scoring all the nice flashy tries, those Chiefs forwards, the Chiefs piggies, getting into their work, man. I was going to say Tupelvai, but he didn't play. Samapeni, Finau, Parker, Jacobson, these guys just, Selby Rickett was good as well. Arkoi, really strong. So just very clinical at ruck time. Getting the ruck speed is unreal. So guys like Xavier Rowe and Ratima are there quick, and they can just play that ball. It's so hard for defenses to set then, because you think you've set, that ball's already out. Before you can even set, that ball's out and they're coming again. Then you're offside, you have to fall back, or you're giving away a lot of penalties, and they can just piggyback off the back of that and march down the field. Scrums super dominant as well. This is a big problem for Moana. They got pinged almost every scrum, even on their own ball. So that's definitely a problem. And it sets a good platform for the Chiefs. Damien McKenzie, just a cheat code again. Like, everyone would have him in their fantasy team. He's at Super Rugby. He's just, man, anything he touches is just you sit a little bit further up on your seat every time he gets a ball. He's unreal. Just out of nowhere can pull a rabbit out of a hat. So quick. He's got those lovely little deft touches. And just clinical with everything he does. Leroy Carter. Man, a bolter or a smoky into the All Blacks setup this year. Man, so good. Consistently playing an 8 or 9 out of 10 every week. So rapid, strong. Can beat a player in so many different ways as well. Good under the high ball. Does not shy away from defense at all. So definitely giving Razor a few head scratches, if you ask me. I thought Pellegrini was good for Moana as well. His distribution is nice. He's got a good little step. Kicks well off the tee as well. And what he's done, I feel like, really well, is allowed William Havili to play at fullback. And where he's been playing his best footy this season as well. Just allowing to roam. Free-flowing. He doesn't have to control the game too much, and he's really thriving at fullback for Moana at the moment. But not to be for Moana Pacifica. On to the next game. We've got Highlanders versus Reds. 23-29 Reds break the drought. I think it's 12 years in Dunedin. How good. I think Filippo Dangunu sets the record for the least amount of meters made for 2 tries. I think he only ran a meter to score those 2 tries. Reds come out absolutely firing in that first 10 minutes, scoring 2 tries. Highlanders kind of work their way back in, but Reds too strong. I love the little battle between the nines, Hasty and Thomas, both running amok around the ruck area, good with ball in hand. Any little half gap and they straight through it. Got good little steps, a nice little handoff. Thomas scored a lovely try to start off there. Tom Lynham missed his first kick of the season. He was 15 from 15. How wild is that? all the commentators were talking about it and then missed his first kick of the night. So unlucky there for them. And then the record on that is from Hayden Parker, 38 from 38 when he was playing for the Sunwolves. That is wild. Man, how rapid is Caleb Tangitau? He stocks at wing for the All Blacks, or in the All Blacks stocks at wing for the moment, at the moment, is out of this world. You've obviously got the guys that have been there, done that. So the Mark Talias, the Caleb Clarks, your Imoni Narawai, you're looking at Sevu Reese, Will Jordan, predominantly fullback, but is there as well. Man, and you've got these young bucks pushing, gunning for those positions as well. You're looking at guys like Caleb Tangitau, Leroy Carter, even someone like Kyron Tamufulau, who said he's obviously made it well known that he really wants to play for the All Blacks, although he's played for Tonga at the last World Cup. After next year, I think he's then eligible to play for the All Blacks. Whether that will happen or not, who knows. Kini Naholo, someone as well that is pushing his case. It's huge, man. And you're looking at how these guys are playing right now, the form that these youngsters are in. Tangitau, he's, man, topping the run meters every weekend he plays. He's always a threat when he's got the ball in hand. Someone like Leroy Carter as well. So strong, rapid, like I said, can beat you in a lot of different ways. And really putting pressure on guys like Caleb Clark, who hasn't done much this season. Mark Talia scored 1 or 2 tries, and he's still very busy with ball in hand. A lot of the time looks for work. But Blues as a whole really struggling for form, and then it's putting pressure on these guys as well. Whether Razor will go with just the tried and trusted, or whether he's going to look to put a pressure on these guys by bringing these new youngsters in, giving them a crack, playing the guys that are on form at the moment. Obviously, it's still early doors. Look, we're only 6 rounds into Super season this year. But if these guys keep going how they're playing, and you think at the start of the season it was just 1 or 2 rounds, and you're like, they can't, can they keep this up? But week in, week out, they are. They really are, and they're showing that they can match it against the best in the comp and just keep leveling up every weekend. So it'll be very interesting to see when it comes to the back end of the season, or when it comes to AB's selections, which way Razor goes, and whether we all know he does, or All Blacks do generally like bringing in a bolter in on the wing, or a youngster in the wing department, and these guys really putting their hands up for All Black selection this year. Absolutely they are. Love Talia's try in the centre, straightening up Tim Ryan there. Boom, the left foot whack, gets around him and scores it. That was a lovely try there. Then Dangunu again, 2 meters for 2 tries. Fantastic. Red scrum, absolutely dominated the Highlanders scrum as well. Definitely something the Highlanders need to work on there, and a massive result for the Reds there. 29-23. Outstanding. Then the Blues, Crusaders, 19-42. Crusaders, their first away win in like 630-something days. Fantastic. Blues score first through lovely bit of work from the young centre, Zalia, I think it is, holding their ball up nicely. They bust through the middle, and Dalton Papali'i scores. Then Crusaders put 30 points on them after that first try from the Blues. Loved Havili's little setup for Carl Preston. He gets the ball. There's 50 guys around him. Dummy, handoff, bump, dummy, gets around, almost scores it himself, and then Carl Preston finishes that off. Lovely work there from Havili. And those guys that reckon Havili's not good enough to play All Black still, man, swallow your words. That man is the truth and the light. Crusaders forwards physically dominating the Blues, I thought, in this game. It's so strange to see the change up from last year, where Blues were so forward dominated and physically dominating every forward pack in Super, and then this year they just getting dominated. It's like last year was their race, and this year they just competing, sort of thing. And that's what it feels like. James O'Connor did really well when he come on for Crusaders. A lovely few touches there, the little cross kick, obviously nailing his conversions as well. Definitely something that Taha Kemara has to work on is he's kicking at goals, really pulling a lot of them. He's just stabbing his kicks. Needs to work at kicking through it, or maybe even kicking off a bit of a higher tee. That might work. But James O'Connor, I won't be surprised if he's starting for the Crusaders in the next couple of games, because what he's brought to this side, and maybe it is just a role that he can fulfill for those last 20 minutes. The experience he's giving Kemara, but man, he still has it. And I know he's made it well known that he's still pushing for Wallabies or higher honours, or wants to play the British and Irish Lions series. And while how he's going at the moment, you're giving him that crack, man, because he's been fantastic. Lovely little touches. Like I said, that crossfield kick was fantastic. A really good or great acquisition for Crusaders this year. But good, massive result that for the Crusaders, and really, man, stamping their authority this year in Super Rugby, and I'm loving it. Then over to the Tars versus Brumbies. Let's go. Let's go. 28-23, Waratahs win. It was 13 from 13. The last 13 fixtures between these two sides, Brumbies had won all 13, and now it's 1 from 1. Tars. Test match type stuff. The collisions, the quality across the board, the contact, the intensity, it was up there, man. I could hear those collisions from me sitting on my couch about 150 kilometers away from where the game was played. It was fantastic. Valentini, I thought, was really good for Brumbies, although in a losing side. First game for the season, running hard, running straight, loving the collisions. Can see why he's one of the first pick for the Wallabies whenever the Wallabies teams get released. And I love their little battle with Gleeson. Him and Gleeson were going at it, and Gleeson was really good for Tars as well, getting them that front foot ball and strong with ball in hand, man. Tars were first to score. Try, yes, although the Brumbies scored the penalties, Tars were first to score their try, absorb that pressure from the Brumbies early on. Lovely bit of hands from the Piggies down the edge. Rob Leota down the edge inside to Teddy Wilson. He goes over untouched. Love Rob Leota playing out on the wing there. It's working really well for the Tars. He scored in their first game of the season out on the wing. Then here he's made the break and try assist for Teddy Wilson, and then he gets a try of his own at the edge there, running over the top of Muirhead. That's obviously a way that they're playing their attack, is creating space for him out wide to run against those weaker defenders and the wingers, the smaller wingers, like try and stop big Rob Leota on the edge there. Holy, I would not. There you go, mate. You go score the try, mate. I'm not making that tackle. Holy, and it's working really well for the Tars. Like I said, the intensity in here was massive. Shout out Tom Hooper, the Brock Lesnar or John Cena suplex. Holy. Someone said in some of the comments, I don't see anything wrong with that. It's past horizontal, brother. Like, horizontal, he's gone the whole way. It's a yellow card, man. And he definitely had a younger brother that was doing WWE moves on him, because that suplex, the technique in that suplex, fantastic. Man, credit to Waratahs, just kept going. The fight within this Waratahs squad that I'm seeing, unreal. A couple of years before, they would have lost this game by far. That first game of the season where they fought right till the end in overtime and won it. This is huge, man. Big defensive efforts, using the ball when they've got it on attack as well. And lovely. I love Joey Walton's try, bit of slick football, soccer skills from Max Jorgensen to set that up. Fantastic. What a win for the Tars. And the last game of the round, Force versus the Drua. Force 52, Fiji and Drua 15. Holy, Force below them off the park. Fantastic rugby across the board for Western Force. Fiji and Drua lacking in a lot of instances, especially around continuity and cohesion, kind of keeping the ball, being patient with the ball on attack. And then in defense, really slipping off those one-on-one tackles and not being connected in their defensive line. It's a few times there when they gave the ball away very cheaply, mistakes at lineouts, isolated rucks getting turned over quite often. When you got guys like Carlo Tizzano on the other side, you have to really look after your ball. Otherwise, ding, ding, bye-bye ball. And that's kind of what happened. Force, on the other hand, were sensational. They come out firing. They scored. Nick Dolly scored a hat-trick in the first half. The hooker scored a hat-trick in the first half. 2 of them were from a maul. His first one was from a maul. The second one was from a Fijian Drua overthrow at the line-out. He was luckily enough standing at the back of the line-out, caught it and fell over. And then the third one was a maul try as well. A very strong attacking platform that Western Force do have is a very strong maul, and it sets the defense. The line-out defense, you're like, well, do we contest? If we contest and miss, they're going to smash us with a maul. But if we don't contest, are we going to be able to still stop the maul? So, man, if you've got a strong maul, it's a very strong platform to work from. Like I said, handling errors for Fiji and Drua were shocking. It's coach killers, man. You think you get a couple of phases together and they knock on. I think the one standout for me for the Drua was Thana Kaivata. He doesn't stop. So much work the big fella gets through. Tough as nails as well. Would not want to be tackled by him at all. Harry Potter, double. Do I say it? The magic. Harry Potter magic. 2 worldy tries. First one collects the ball at the back on his 10-meter line, swerves, runs through dummies, steps, goes through pretty much untouched to score. Second one, busts through, it's in the second half. Grubber, the last defender, collects and scores again. 2 magic tries. I'm going to say magic, Harry Potter magic. You get the connection there. 33-5 at halftime. Pretty much Fiji and Drua, the game is over at halftime already. I thought the work Hamish Stewart and Jeremy Williams get through is unreal. Just keep going. Same with Carlo Tizzano. His try-scoring run continues. That's another 2 for the season. That's 8 for the season. That is immense. 2 pies in this game. The fact that he's that fit, he can get around the park more. It allows him to be more involved in the game, and he's at the right spot, at the right time, pretty much all the time. And him being that fit allows him to do that. So that's probably the biggest takeaway from Carlo Tizzano's run at the moment. And not just his try-scoring run, his form run. He's been immense. I think he had 10 carries in this game, 16 tackles. The amount of rucks he hits as well, it's unbelievable, man. But you go and check his YouTube channel out, and you see all the amount of work he puts into his recovery and everything like that. The elite professional he is, it's no wonder he can do this on the weekend when he puts through all that work. He puts all that work in during the week and he performs like this on the weekend. It all makes sense, and he's checking the boxes, man. How good. What a run of form he's on at the moment. 52-15, Western Force handle the Drua. What did you guys think of that game? Again, what did you think of this round? Another huge round of Super Rugby. How good? Let me know in the comments. Who was your match? What was your match of the round? Who was your man of the match or man of the round? What try was your favorite try of the round? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time.